Hi. It's been a while. In case you have forgotten, which I totally wouldn't blame you if you had, my name is Lindsay, and yeah, I can't remember the last time I made a video. It might have been in September, and now it's January 2nd. You'll probably see this tomorrow on January 3rd. But yeah, life's happened. Life's getting back to a new kind of normal. Um, last year, if you didn't know, if you hadn't watched previous video, in July, my mother-in-law entered hospice care, and my husband moved in with her for 3 months, about 3.5 hours away, and she beat the odds. She is gone, but she hung on longer than anybody expected. So my husband and his sister were able to have some time with their mother a little bit longer than what they had originally planned. So that was wonderful. But in the end, the cancer did take her. She passed away at the end of October. Her funeral was in early November. And yeah, um, so she's gone, which is still getting used to that. I don't know if I ever will. Um, but it was a beautiful service, beautiful celebration of life. And um, yeah, we're going day by day. Now it's been a little over 2 months since her passing, and we're all home again. But our household is missing someone. The day before my mother-in-law passed, our cat, who was 16 and a half years old, also passed. So it was a hard weekend. Now, granted, yes, the cat and my mother-in-law, they're not necessarily comparable, but it was just hard. And so we're still dealing with, figuring out, oh, we still have some cat stuff to get rid of, and just like because everything happened at the same time, right? And then when we all came home after the funeral, a couple of days after the funeral, we brought my mother-in-law's little dog home with us. We were concerned about some of her behavioral patterns. She can get very aggressive. She's territorial. She's protective. She's toy aggressive. She's food aggressive. Goes on. But she's been doing really, really well. And I think her and my son have been really good for each other because he is always moving. His ADHD, part of his ADHD is the hyperactivity. He's got all the subsets of ADHD. And he's always moving. He's always on his toes. He's always moving around. And she hated that for the longest time. But when she moved in with us, she's learning to handle that kind of activity and chaos better. And he's learning to control his chaos a little bit better. So I think they've been good for each other. And yeah, it's going well. She's a cuddly little dog. 90% wonderful behavior, 10% unpredictable behavior, which is still frustrating. But I'll insert a picture of her here. She's a cutie. She's a little fluffy dog. So, and then Christmas happened. I was really busy at work, and just getting used to life as a family of three with a dog again, instead of a life as a family of two with a cat. Before that, life of families of three with a cat. And yeah, it's just, I need a break. Something had to go. I only have capacity for so much. And during all this time, of course, the budgeting went out the window, down the toilet, whatever analogy you want to use. And so that's been my life. But we're getting back into the swing of things. The new year, I know it's just the switch of the calendar, but it just feels like, okay, let's start again. Anyway, so here I am. Long time no see. let's get into some of the money stuff and the funding and finance and all that fun stuff. I did continue stuffing some of the larger challenges, even though the budgeting day to day kind of went out the window. I am happy to say that I completed this 2024 challenge. This saved $2,024 in 2024 from Nina the Almost Organized Owl. Let me count it for you so we can see some cash here. Let's start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1200, 1250, 3, 13, 1350, 14, 1450, 15, 1550, 16, 1650, 17, 1750, 18, 1850, 19, 1950, 1970, 1980, 1990, 2000. Looking good. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. $2,024. This I'm going to put back in the envelope because this is going to go back to the bank because I do have a little bit of credit card debt that I need to pay off from the last couple of months. None of it has accrued any interest because we've been keeping up with the posted balance on the statements, but I'm just going to put this back in the bank. This is going to go partially towards credit cards, partially to refill our savings. Because like I said, with a funeral and everything, it just got to be expensive and I want to replenish it, but I'm glad we had the money to deal with the things that were important. We weren't worried about the finances. I'm focused on them again now, but at the time we were able to focus on family and remembrance and self-care. So that's why we save, right? If we're able to, we can save to have to prioritize the other things. We're not always worried about money. All right, so that's the 2024 challenge. I also finished the 1530 challenge from Rene at Reinventing Rene or Budget Nerd Co. So I should have $540 here. We've got 1, 150, 2, 53, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 30, 40. Nice. So this I'm going to put back in the bank as well, but I'm going to put it in a savings account specifically for probably travel. That's the thing is I've kept up with these, but I didn't necessarily keep an eye on what I wanted to put it towards, but I think it's going to go towards travel because we got a trip coming up in February. I also completed this dragon challenge, so I'll show you the challenges that I completed. So this was the 2024 challenge from Nita the Almost Organized Owl. So you can see it's all complete. This is the 1530 challenge from Reinventing Rene or Budget Nerd Co. on Etsy. And this is the Dragon Challenge. This comes from Amanda, formerly of Amanda's Budgets, but now she's had a rebrand since the last time I made a video, and her channel is now called Life Unfiltered. I don't believe she has an Etsy shop open right now, but I'll link her shop in the description below, along with all of the other shops and channels. All right, so this is the Dragon Challenge. Let's wait for that autofocus. There we go. And it should have $120 in it. We've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. That is going to also go back to the bank. So those are the three larger challenges that I completed. I know this one wasn't quite as big. This wasn't a year-long challenge. These two were. I know one of my goals for 2024 was to complete the 100 envelope challenge. That was a lofty goal. I didn't do that, but I did save quite a bit. This is the 100 envelope challenge that I've been working on. And I have been working on this during my little filming hiatus as well. This challenge this version of it comes from Ira at Budget with Ira. And I have the 92 to 100 complete. I also have most of the 50s done. And then a whole lot smattering everywhere else. I do believe I am more than halfway done. I think I've got about $3,000 done. So this will save $5,050 once all the envelopes are stuffed. So that brings me to my goals for 2025. I'll zoom in again here. All right, there we go. Okay, there we go. The first one is I want to do the 2025 and 2025 challenge. So same wonderful creator. This is the 2025 and 25 challenge from Nita the Almost Organized Owl, or Owl Save Wisely on Etsy. So I want to do that. It's approximately $40 a week. It's like 41 or something. I want to max out 2 Roth IRAs, one for me and one for my husband. And that is it $7,500 each this year? It's either $7,000 or $7,500. I'd have to look it up, but we do have financial advisors that help us keep on top of this. So it is an auto transfer to the Roth IRA account. I treat it like a bill every month. We don't have quite enough each month pulling out automatically to max out for the year. So in November, what we did this year is we had a lump sum taken out to bridge that gap, to top it off. And that was pulled out of our savings, which again was one of those things that I just want to replenish our savings with some of the challenges that we did this year. I want to cash flow a trip to California in March. One of the things that happened over the last few months is I did reconnect a little bit with my sister. We're not estranged, but we've never been particularly close. But she lives in California, and I want to go see her with my husband and my son. So, and part of that, she lives in LA, will be a trip for a couple of days to Disneyland. But that's not going to be the only part of the trip. So I want to cash flow that trip in March, which is what the 13 or the 1530 challenge will go towards, as well as I have a savings challenge book here. I purchased The Life of a Pig Who Wants to Collect Memories and Not Things from Marlene at Snow Gardener 307. So I will be working on this year. And to start with, I will be snowballing for the trip to California. We also have some trip credits because my son and I were planning on flying out to visit my parents who live in Montana in August, but we canceled that trip because of everything happening with my mother-in-law. So we should have some flight credits that I'll be able to redeem. So that's part of that as well. I want to finish the 100 envelope challenge, and I think I can do that this year. I want to save for a down payment for a new car as much as I can. So the amount is to be determined, TBD, for the fall of 2025. One of the things that I am thinking about doing for the fall is going full-time with my job. I've been part-time, half-time really, 20 hours a week, give or take. It's been flexible. Some weeks it's 25 hours. It's been pretty flexible, but I have a feeling they want me to go full-time, and they haven't been pushing me, but that is, so in order for me to do that, we're going to need a new car. We're going to need 2 reliable cars that can go a distance, right? Right now we have a relatively new car, a Subaru that is a 2017 that has 70,000 miles on it. And we have a 2007 Toyota Camry. It is 17 years old. It has 155,000 miles on it. It is a great little car, but it's a bumming around town car. I don't take it very far, but it's good running errands car. But anyway, we would need a second car if I'm going to be going full time in the fall. So this and the 100 envelope challenge and the 2025 challenge, they may all meld into one goal because the 2025 and the 100 envelope challenge may go towards a new car. The next one is kind of more of an abstract goal. It's a head in the clouds kind of goal, where I don't get lost on the micro goals and forget about progress on macro goals. So when I think about macro goals, I think about the large emergency fund, like the 6 to 12 month emergency fund that I want, and saving for my kiddos' future education, saving for my husband and my retirement, the big things. Instead of, yes, making sure the day to day is covered, but not get so in the weeds that, that I forget about the progress on macro goals. And, looking at the progress that we have made on our macro goals, to remember that if I fail at a smaller goal, overall, there's progress happening. So to not lose momentum, lose faith in the process, etc. The next one is an amount to be determined. Save for future educational expenses, whether it's for my son or for my husband or for myself, depending on what we want to do, or even to contribute to our nephew's education. I don't know. That's why it's a little goal, and that's why it's goal number 17 or number 7, because it has yet to be fleshed out a little bit, let to be specified. And then for Christmas 2025, I want to save $13.50. I originally had a blank there, which is why you see the line, but I did fill it in with an amount that I think would be an appropriate amount for my 2025 Christmas. Okay, only a couple more things left, and then this long video will be over. But we're going to go through this new binder that I have. I went with an A5 for all the kind of important things that I'm going to be working on this year. So I do have a Sinking Funds randomizer. This comes from Rene at Mischief Managed Budgets, and I have her cards here. So I'll be doing that sometimes. But when I'm not doing it as a game, I'm just going to be stuffing them as sinking funds. So I have home maintenance here, and I've had a home maintenance envelope for a while. This whole time, really, ever since I started cash stuffing. This was my home maintenance envelope, original. Doesn't even have a zipper on it anymore. But I'm going to be switching it over to this envelope. So let's just do that right now. I have the tracker, and we have 20. Okay, we've got 100, 20, 35, 45. 145, and sure enough, the tracker says 145. So we're just going to put this in this envelope. Get this binder started. All right, so that's home maintenance. Next, we have the car. I have changed from having 2 envelopes for the car, one for car tabs, which is our yearly annual registration fees, and car maintenance. So I have this car tabs. In Minnesota, we call them tabs. They're little stickers that we put on envelope, and I have this car maintenance envelope. This is an OG as well. See, again, this doesn't have a zipper. I have a paper clip in it to still be able to open it up. So I'm just going to combine these two to simplify. And I will get a new tracker, but I'm not going to do it today. Let's get these all sorted. Okay, we got everything sorted. We're going to count it. We got 1, 2, 50, 70, 90, 3, 10, 25, 35, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 348 in the car. And really, it's the cars, but I liked how it just was the car and looked like the license plate, right? Because I live in Minnesota. This is what our standard license plates look like. I'm going to put that in there. All right. I did originally have a pets envelope for this, but because we lost our cat, but we have the doggy, I just created an A5 size of my puppy princess. And it is down to 0 because we had to buy a bunch of stuff from her. So this was the original envelope. There's nothing in there. So that's I'm gonna keep working on that. This is the travel envelope. This was the envelope that came with the Life of the Pig Who Wants to Collect Memories, Not Things, from Marlene at Snow Gardener 307. So that's travel. Emergency fund. This is for me to continue building up our emergency fund. Once it gets to a certain amount, I'm going to be putting it in the bank and maybe putting a placeholder in. I haven't quite decided yet, but the category does need to exist, so that's the emergency fund envelope. Christmas, which is also the holidays envelope, but it's going to be primarily Christmas. Maybe I'll create a holidays envelope. I'm not sure. I have my special occasions binder that I may or may not use. It is the 3rd year. This would be the 3rd or 4th year that I've used it. So it is starting to show its age. So, but for now, this is Christmas. Seasonal activities. I haven't had a chance to make the A5 version of this. This is for things like if we go strawberry picking or apple picking or go to the pumpkin patch or 4th of July or sledding and or skiing or something, whatever, gardening, anything seasonal, right? Kind of like family fun, right? Winter is coming. This is also combining 2 previous sinking funds. We have winter gear, and winter is coming. This winter is coming was for like a winter stock up so that I don't have to be getting as much stuff at the grocery store each time I go. So far, we haven't had a whole lot of snow this year, but it is not fun going to the grocery store and coming out with a cart full of stuff and piling it into your car and lugging it into the house when it's cold. So if I can keep my grocery trips to smaller amounts, that is ideal. So like all the shelf stable stuff, all that kind of stuff, if I can pre-buy it, that's what this is for. It's for that stock up that I do every year. And I did do a small stock up last month. And so for $60, so I have $125 left in there. And then winter gear, I have a 7-year-old who loses everything. And he also grows out of everything. So I have a fund, I've had a fund to keep up with having to buy him new things all the time. Winter gear. Because in Minnesota, winter gear is a necessity. Like, it's not negotiable. So I'm going to put that money in there. Summer camp, that's a larger expense that we have every year. As with my husband and I working in the summer, my kiddo needs to have something to do on those long summer days. So we saved to send him to various day camps. So I mean, it looks like he goes to sleepaway camp with this, but he doesn't. They're just day camps, but different things to for enrichment and engagement. Things like that. They're good for him. He loves them. Investing. I do want to continue on working on building both my CD ladder which I have been doing. I have not been updating you all on it, but for January, I will do that. Maybe in my next video, I will update you on the CD ladder. I do have all 12 months of CDs. They're not fully funded, but they all do exist. And yeah, we'll I'll show you that. But I also want to work on building up my taxable brokerage account with various index funds, stocks, bonds, etc., ETFs, that sort of thing. Education, present and future. This is for things like back to school, school activities, etc., but then also the bigger picture. So, um, again, I kind of combined two into one. And we'll see how that works. It might not, it might be a disaster, but we'll figure it out. And then last but not least, frivolity. Look how happy she is. She's so happy. This is for the frivolous things in life, right? Very open-ended category, and that's okay. I do have some money in the summer camp. I forgot to change that out. It's a whole $5. So we're gonna move back to summer camp. Hey, $5 is $5, right? Put that in. There we go. Got some money in this new binder. Beautiful. So there you have it, folks. I'm sorry that I was gone so long. I did keep up with many of you. Not so good at commenting. I'm trying to get better at that. But many of you, many other budgeters have been keeping me company, whether they know it or not, as I, go through life. So anyway, thanks for sticking this long with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have something you want to say, go ahead and put in that comment box below. And if you haven't yet, I'd love it if you subscribed. I have over 9,900 subscribers. I'd love to make it to 1,000, but one day at a time. That's all we can do, right? One day at a time. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, evening, morning, night, whatever time of day you're watching this, and I will see you next time. Take care.